It is raining outside. It is quite windy. I hope that's not going to be as whole distracting, otherwise I'm going to be pissed. Okay, so I'm pretty late at jumping on the bandwagon with this one. I feel this is the sort of video I should have started with. But I didn't realise I was going to try and become a booktuber, so things happen. I actually uploaded my first book related video about mid-October last year, and I've been kind of mostly doing like book related videos ever since, so I'm a little bit late on the bandwagon, but I also feel like I'm still a newbie, so I'm still allowed to do this tag and no one can tell me otherwise. I really hope that wind and rain is not going to be at all distracting. Okay, so let's get into this. I have the questions. Excited. First question, why did you start this channel? I mean, honestly, I'm not quite sure how long this channel's been around for. It's not my OG YouTube channel. I have like another channel that I use that's like my original account. Probably actually not even my original account, but it's an account I still use, and it's the one I'm logged into on like most of my devices apart from my laptop, which I use for this channel. And it's my channel where like I'll make playlists and listen to music, and it's the one I operate out of the most. This channel, I think I created this a few years ago. My first ever video was just something quite random. I think it's probably my dog. I think I was just bored and looking for something to do, and I thought, why not just make like videos for fun? And then and then I dabbled a little in ASMR, and I was gonna try and become like an ASMR artist, but I was just like filming those videos on my laptop, and they're still up, by the way, all those videos. I've privated a few of them, but most of them are actually still there, embarrassingly. I just recorded on my laptop. I mostly did like hairbrushing videos. Those were like my favourite film, because you didn't have to do anything, you just brushed your hair. But like you couldn't even hear me, you couldn't even hear any sound. So I think I dabbled in ASMR for about a year or so, and then I would just kind of film like little videos in between. And then I think I started a job at a cafe, and so when I started working in like February 2018, I stopped filming completely. I didn't upload anything at all. After my place of work shut down, I thought for something to do I might dabble in videos again. I did a couple like ASMR videos, but I did different ones. To be honest, I genuinely don't think I'll ever go back to doing like the hairbrushing, the different kind of... That was mostly what I did, to be honest. That's all I really did with it. But I doubt I'll ever really go back to that. I've done a few tapping videos since. I did a couple of them around about Christmas time. That's my kind of favourite ASMR videos at the moment, is like just seeing somebody going about like their house and just tapping on random objects. I don't really mind doing stuff like that, but it's not really what I want to do. But yeah, so I very much doubt that I knew I wouldn't go back to do the kind of ASMR videos that I did previously. I find them really cringy when I go back and look at them. But I didn't mind doing a couple. I did a couple of like kind of outdoorsy ASMR when I was like walking my dog. I did a few tapping videos, and that's been about it. But I know I'm not going to do that again. But the first book related video I ever did was in October, and what it was, I've always kind of been a fan of Booktube, to be perfectly honest. I've watched like videos in the past, but I recently read a book and it got me riled up. I really didn't like it all that much. I remember just ranting to my mum about it, and of course she just kind of sat there just not really caring, didn't really understand or whatever. And I kind of had this idea like, well, why don't I film my little rant and upload it? I'll leave a link to that down below in case you want to check out my first ever Booktube video. It's The Keeper of Lost Things by Ruth Hogan. I just did a pure rant video on it, so that was my first. But since then, I suppose I've decided I would quite like to just film book videos. I think it'd be quite fun. I read a lot at the moment. I'm reading these last 2 years. I've picked up reading again, and I've been reading so much, and gradually I've just been reading more and more. It's great. Okay, question 2. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. Funny? No, I'm not funny. We're all unique in our own way. I don't know. That's a hard question. I suppose maybe say like, well, everybody's different, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that question. I'm just me. What are you most excited for about this new channel? Probably just like meeting other people who love to read, maybe meeting people who love to write, interacting with fellow literature lovers. I just feel like it could be a fun way to make friends. I'm excited just to hear other people's thoughts. I'm not looking forward to all the editing I have to do though, to be perfectly honest. I mean, every time I do a book review I ramble and the file's always over about an hour long and I have to sit and go through it and edit out all the rambling that I do, so I'm not looking forward to that because I already hate it. If I could find an editor, I would. Why do you love reading? Why do I love reading? Sometimes I torture myself with the rubbish I read. I've always loved to read. I've always read as a child, so I suppose I just do it. It's fun. Some people are such amazing storytellers. I love a good mystery, you know, when you're trying to solve a case. I just think it's great. It's great. People that have the skill to write amazing stories. I keep looking at my book. The people that have like the great skills of creating these wonderful stories. It's good fun and it brings some meaning to my otherwise quiet, empty life. I get to go on all these great adventures with all the characters. It's great. I love reading. I love it. What book or series got you into reading? I mean, that is such a hard question because I've always read. I grew up being read stories by my parents. Series wise, I do remember when I was quite young, I loved the I don't even know if these are like an international thing, but these fairy books, if I can find a photo of any of them, I will pop it here. The fairy books, I think it was done by like, I know it wasn't a real author. It was one of those things where, what do you call that, where it's not like a specific, it's not one person, it's not like a ghostwriter, but it's like, it's a group of people write books under like a name. I don't know what that's called, but it was like that, and it was these like fairy books, and it started with like, there'd be like 7 books to each kind of category. There was like colours, there was days of the week, there was pets, it was like Laura the Monday fairy. I had so many of those. Those were like a series I always remember reading as a child. Fairy books. So what else did I read as a child? I mean, I don't know. I read loads of kids books, and then I always just read throughout my kind of teen years. I kind of took breaks in between. I didn't read an awful lot. I maybe only read like under 10 books a year. I gradually started reading a lot more. The last couple of years I picked up again. I was buying more books and reading them. I used to go to the library a lot as a child, so I really couldn't tell you, but I'll go with the fairy books by Daisy Meadows. That's the author name was. I will never forget going into a shop with my friend and we were looking at all the fairy books and we were so excited, and I can't remember what we were talking about, and the owner of the bookshop came up to us and was like, you know, Daisy Meadows isn't a real person, it's like a corporation, there's just a bunch of people that write these books. And I was like, why would you say that to me? Why would you actually break my, I was probably like 10 or something, why would you break my 10-year-old heart? I was devastated when I found out it wasn't like an actual real author. It was like a group of people, and Daisy Meadows wasn't a real person, but I should have realised with a name like Daisy Meadows. How cute though. Okay, what questions would you ask your favourite booktubers? First, how the hell do you read so much? I have seen people doing their monthly wrap-ups and they've read about 20 to 30 books, and I'm like, I'm lucky if I read 5 in a month. Sometimes I'm getting better. I sometimes maybe only take me a couple of days to read a book, or maybe by some chance I read a book in a day, but that's quite rare. Once I read a book in a day, I seem to slow down after that. But most times it takes me about a week to read a book. Especially when it comes to fantasy books. I seem to be really slow when it comes to reading the mysteries and thrillers and even just like heartwarming stories. I seem to just fly through them. But for some reason fantasy just slows me right down. So when I see these booktubers reading thick books and they read them in like a few days, and it's like, that's impressive. Teach me in your ways. And they have like jobs and lives and they do other stuff. I mean, if I sit down and dedicate my time, my day to a book, that's my day. That's just my whole day, is reading that book. I'm lucky if I do anything in between. And if I do anything else, if I stop reading, that's it. I'm never gonna finish it in that day. Also, number 2, how is it that they do their reviews? so well. Reviews, rants, whatever. They do them so well. So well. If I try to talk about a book, I'm hoping I'm going to get better. The more practice makes perfect, the more I do it, the better I'll get. Whenever I sit down to film a book review, I end up just rambling and ranting, and maybe I should script it. I keep thinking about scripting them, but then I'm worried that, you know, you're going to be sat glued to that the whole time. I love to just get things off the top of my head, but how are they they're so good? They must make notes. They must make notes because they're so structured. They don't ramble too much. Everything's so precise. It's like a teacher talking about something, and I'm like, yes please, teach me your ways. Teach me how to talk about books without rambling and ranting so much. Teach me. Won't you teach me how to dance, how to dance? Won't you teach me how to dance? Teach me how to dance. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Probably finding time to do them. Actually making an effort. Like 9 times out of 10 I'm in the mood to film and I don't wear makeup because I don't wear makeup in like my daily life. I don't. I put some makeup on today, can you tell? And I'll sit down to film and I'm like, wow, like my face is a bit red, or I'm not wearing makeup and I look terrible, look tired. So the effort of having to put makeup on, try and make sure I'm not wearing the same clothes in every single video. Also as well, I have never ever told my parents that I film videos. Everybody that like tells their friends, family that they make YouTube videos, I applaud you, I really do, because I've never told anybody in my life that, like, before, obviously before when I was doing like the ASMR, that was cringe. I'm not saying ASMR is cringe, but when I was doing it, it was cringe. It was embarrassing. I don't want anybody to see those. But I don't tell my family or my friends that I do book reviews or anything like that. I'd die if anybody saw these. But I don't tell my parents that I do them. I don't think they would understand. So I don't talk about it. And my house is just a really quiet house. So if I go up to my room and like shut the door, they'll be like aware that I'm talking. And when I really get into a review, I get loud and I'm practically shouting to get my point across. So I often think, like, I try to film, most times I try to film on like a Wednesday because that's when my mum goes away shopping with my granny and my dad's normally at work. He's not at work today though. He is downstairs. But I just feel like, I don't know, I'm that embarrassed that they'll just walk in and be like, Laura, what are you doing? And I'm like, nothing. So that's one thing. If I lived on my own, if I had a good quiet place, if I had like a recording studio in a shed in the garden, that'd be amazing. But I just feel like not telling them is weird. I mean, yeah, I feel like if my channel blew up in a way, I mean, I just do this for fun, you know? I'm not really wanting anything out of it. Maybe to make some friends, that'd be nice. And talk about books. I'm a small channel, so I feel like there's no point like advertising it to people I know. But if maybe something random happened and I ended up with like 10,000 subscribers or something, I'd maybe tell them then. If I had like a nice little following and I was trying to do this properly, maybe once a week videos kind of thing, then I probably would tell them. But then I might not. I mean, I feel like I'd be the sort of person that if I had about 2 million subscribers and an online following, I still wouldn't tell anybody. That's just me though, I'm awkward. But yeah, I think that's the main thing. Challenges, hardest to overcome. Number 1, telling anybody and hiding it from people. Like it's a flippin' secret. Making sure that my videos are actually pretty decent and they're not just silly little ranty reviews all the time. I do want to try and get a better structure to my videos because I feel like I do just ramble in them. Maybe better quality videos. I just film off my phone, to be honest. I'm too broke to go out and start affording fancy equipment. I'm a broke bitch. When did you start reading? Probably as a small child. A child. Where do you read? Everywhere? In my bed, on the couch, on public transport, probably just anywhere. I will read anywhere. In the garden, out and about, yeah, anywhere. What kind of books do you like to read? Mysteries. Mysteries and thrillers are definitely my go-to. I read them a lot. Fantasy, yeah, I don't read as much fantasy. I'm working my way through Lord of the Rings and A Song of Ice and Fire. I read like the Harry Potters. But yeah, I definitely like mysteries. I read mostly mysteries. I'm not a massive romance fan. I'm not a massive sci-fi fan. I would like to read maybe a lot more kind of, I'm not quite sure what the genre would be classed as, but just like heartwarming stories, maybe character driven stories. Yeah, so that seems to be the end. There's a wiki page for Booktube. I didn't know that. Maybe one day I'll be on it. But yeah, that seems to be the end of the questions. But yeah, so that is the end of the questions. They were quite fun. It's fun. I don't feel like I was too late doing this video, even though I've already done like about 10 or so book related videos, probably more actually. But yeah, so that was just a fun little video I thought I could do this Wednesday afternoon, this dull rainy Wednesday. Here's hoping that I actually stick with it this time and I don't just bail like I did with my ASMR career. I would also like to give a shout out to Raving Reads, who recently did this tag and who inspired me to do one myself. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I liked answering the questions even though my answers were silly. So thank you so much for watching this little video. Now I gotta go edit. So thank you for watching. Much love.